Welcome back to the D4 channel, and I'm your boy Hamid Mark here in Japan. Now, why am I in Japan? Because I want to kill two birds with one stone. One, attend my very first Star Wars celebration, and two, visit Japan for the first time. So I am here by myself today because my counterpart is exploring Japan because I am old and I'm pushing 30 and my legs do not work. So I figured I've been very busy just exploring Japan with them the last few days after celebration, but I finally got a little break, so I figured let's be productive and get out some of the news that we have heard and seen in Star Wars Celebration. And today we will be talking about Ahsoka Season 2. But before we get to that, please like and subscribe to the D4 channel for all your Star Wars entertainment news and all that good stuff here on this side of the YouTube galaxy. But without further ado, let's get to Ahsoka Season 2. Now again, as I mentioned in probably other videos, we were only able to attend the Andor panel, which honestly was a blessing because when we got queued up for celebration for the panels, they said all the panels were filled. So the fact that we even got into the Andor panel just by waiting in line was a miracle in itself. So I'm very blessed that we're able to do that, but we weren't able to go to any other panels, and we only went for the one day, the Saturday. So obviously we weren't able to attend the Ahsoka panel, but here's all the news that came out during the panel. First and foremost, the recasting of Baylan Skoll was finally made official. His name is Ray McCann, Ray McCann, who he also worked with Game of Thrones, and he was friends with Ray Stevenson. And Ray Stevenson, if you guys know, passed away. He was Baylan Skoll in Ahsoka Season 1. And the amount of gravitas and nuance he brought to that character, who is a survivor of Order 66, who he uses the dark side. He's on the dark side, but he's not evil. He's not malicious for malicious sake. He has a purpose. And as far as we know, based on Season 1, he wants to stop the vicious cycle of war and destruction in the galaxy by finding either something or someone to help him achieve that, some kind of power to help him achieve breaking the cycle that I think has to do with the Mortis. And everything he's done, he is like a calmer, he's kind of like Obi-Wan mixed with Vader a little bit, which is where I kind of like, it's a very unique way that Ray Stevenson portrayed him that I very much love. So I'm hoping that the new guy they got for Baylan Skoll will able to capture and perform as well as the late Ray Stevenson done. So we got that news. We saw how he looked. He looked fantastic. He looks like Baylan Skoll. So I'm loving that that like when we watch Season 2, when we watch Baylan Skoll, you know, you'll have in your mind that Ray Stevenson's not there, but hopefully his performance is in such a outstanding way that you don't even realize that you're missing Ray Stevenson. It's just a character, Baylan Skoll. So I love that we saw that. Obviously we got news that Anakin Skywalker will be back in Ahsoka Season 2, which I guess is obvious, but now the question is, which form will he be back in? In Season 1, he came as a training hologram for Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds as a Force spirit aberration that helped her teach her another lesson, and then he appeared at the end as an actual Force ghost. So people are wondering what form will we see him in. We could see him in all three as well in Season 2, or we could see like a pure flashback of him in his Clone Wars getup like we saw in Season 1 with Ian McGregor Obi-Wan. There were rumors also circling that Obi-Wan Kenobi will also be in the Ahsoka show in his classic Clone Wars getup. So will we see all three of them in Clone Wars gear doing Clone Wars things? Maybe. I really hope so. I think that's the form I want to see him in the most. They could do a thing where, because if we're going to deal with Mortis, the Mortis gods, the all that Force, mythical, crazy god stuff, we could mess around with time a little bit, especially if Baylan Skoll is looking for a way to undo or stop the cycle. We could get away where we see them actually in the Clone Wars get up in like not a flashback, but like it's actually them, because we know in the Clone Wars they had that 3-episode arc where they actually visit Mortis, and Mortis is a very, very unique place in Star Wars where time works a lot differently there. So I would love to see him. If I'm a gambling man, which I am, not a good gambling man, but I'm a gambling man, I would say that's probably how we're gonna see him. But it's most likely gonna be a Force Ghost where he's kind of giving her advice or giving Sabine advice, um, like Obi-Wan did to Luke, and how Luke did to Rey, and how Qui-Gon did to both Obi-Wan and Master Yoda. So most likely we could be like that. But we also could see him in a training hologram to help Sabine with her Jedi training. So either way we see him, Christensen, it's gonna be a blessing because I love him. That's my brother's favorite character, Anakin Skywalker. He's fantastic. I'm actually surprised I still never got to meet him yet. But one of these days I'm gonna catch the chosen one to meet him. So that's very cool. Also, Admiral Akbar will be back in season 2 of Ahsoka, and apparently he's gonna have a lot of stuff to do, which makes sense. We didn't see him much in in the sequel trilogies, and I think he died in the sequel trilogies. I can't remember in Rise of Skywalker. I think he did die. He did die a crazy death, like someone with Admiral Akbar. Yes, he did die. Cause I remember Admiral Holdo. People wanted that maneuver to be Akbar getting his final farewell, but he got killed like in such a lame way. So people were basically saying this is the redemption for Admiral Akbar. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's the Mon Cala who was the fish person in episode 6 Return of the Jedi that says it's a trap. So he will be one of the admirals, and he's going to have a lot of stuff to do, which I'm very excited. If we're going to have Thrawn on the Imperial side doing all this tactical fleet stuff, it only makes sense that we have someone with just as much stature in Admiral Akbar to be on the New Republic good side. So I'm very excited to see our favorite admiral there fighting the good fight against the Imperial scum. So all that is good. And they saw a few images in the panels. I believe they got shown a trailer, which I haven't been able to find online. But everything I'm hearing about Ahsoka season 2 is good. Now whether this leads into Mando or Mando vice versa, all this is going to link into a big movie or war with Thrawn. But Rosario Dawson, who plays Ahsoka, says that it's gonna be a war in season 2. So I'm very curious to see how far it goes that leads up into the movie, whether it's called the Ahsoka movie or the Mando movie, or I don't know what it's gonna be titled, but it's supposed to be their version of the Avengers or Endgame or something like that. So I'm curious to see how Ahsoka season 2 leads into all of that. But I'm very excited. I'm so happy with the casting so far for Baylan Skoll. Obviously, if we had our way, Ray Stevenson will still be with us, and we could still continue with his specific take on Baylan Skoll. But I'm fully confident in Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau in this project, and I'm very excited to see Ahsoka season 2. And you guys, let me know your thoughts on the panel if you were there, or any of the news you heard. Are you excited for Ahsoka season 2? Did you like Ahsoka season 1? Or do you not really care about Ahsoka and what they have to do in season 2? You let me know in the comments below. But as always, I'm your boy Hamid Mark, and may the Force be with you.